Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder campus tour. Today we're headed to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Nebraska is a prominent public land grant research university located here in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was established in 1869 under the Morrill Act of 1862 by the Nebraska legislature. It was originally known as the University of Nebraska until 1968, when it merged with the Municipal University of Omaha to form the University of Nebraska system. The university is made up of 9 different colleges, including agricultural sciences, architecture, arts and sciences, business, education, engineering, fine and performing arts, journalism, mass communication, and law. Athletically, Nebraska's team, known as the Cornhuskers, compete in NCAA Division I as part of the Big Ten Conference. The football program in particular boasts 46 conference championships and claims 5 national titles, with 25 former players inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Ahead of us, our first stop on our campus tour is the Nebraska State Historical Society building. This building was constructed in 1953 and was built to serve as the headquarters of the Nebraska State Historical Society, which was established way back in 1878. This building is on the National Register of Historic Places for its design style of Bauhaus and international styles. The Wick Alumni Center, home to the Nebraska Alumni Association, is a standout architectural feature here on campus. It was completed in 1985 and designed by the acclaimed New York City firm of Gwathmey, Siegel & Associates, who are well known for their contemporary style and award-winning designs. The center is named in honor of Milton I. Wick, a 1922 UNL graduate whose generous $500,000 donation helped make the project possible. The Alumni Center serves as both a welcoming hub for alumni and a great example of late 20th century campus architecture. On our right is the expansive Nebraska Union. The Nebraska Union stands as a symbol of student initiative during the Great Depression. Despite resistance from university leadership to use New Deal funds, student leaders Jack Fisher and Irving Hall rallied support and secured Public Works Administration, or PWA administration funding in 1936. The building was completed in 1938, and the Union quickly became a vital social hub, with students funding much of the projects through fees. Since then, it has seen major expansions in the 50s, 60s, and in 1999, where a lot of new design was added to the backside of the building that we'll see later on in the video. In the 1950s, a significant building boom fueled by the 1947 state building levy provided funds to improve buildings on campus. We're taking a look at one of those buildings that was constructed, which is now known as Canfield Hall, but originally was known as the Administration Building. It was completed in 1958. As early as 1911, the university library was already running out of space, prompting the eviction of the State Historical Society from its basement quarters in 1912. Though calls for a new library continued, both World War I and the Great Depression delayed progress. In 1940, the project gained new life when Don L. Love, a Lincoln banker and former mayor, donated $850,000 for a new library building. Construction began in 1941, and by 1943, the building was completed, initially serving as housing for Army cadets during World War II. It finally opened as a library in the fall of 1945. At the time, Love Library was the largest building on campus with the capacity of over 800,000 items, 6 reading rooms, study rooms, an auditorium, and a student lounge. Louise Pound Hall, originally opened in 1910 as Social Sciences Hall, later became home to the College of Business Administration before being renamed in honor of Louise Pound, an extraordinary Nebraskan scholar and athlete. Pound was born into a prominent Lincoln family. She earned both her bachelor's degree and master's degree here at the University of Nebraska, where she was a classmate of author Willa Cather. Denied admission to American doctoral programs, she earned her PhD from the University of Heidelberg in just 1 year. Returning to Nebraska, she served as a professor in the English department for 48 years, specializing in folklore and linguistics. A trailblazer on and off the field, Pound helped found the university women's basketball team and earned a varsity letter in men's tennis, still the only woman at the university to do so. She later won the Nebraska Women's Golf Championship in 1926. The Mary Moss Media Arts Center is a 2 screen theater on the university campus known for showcasing independent films, documentaries, and international movies. In addition to public screenings, the center serves as a key venue for lectures and events in the film studies and fine and performing arts program. At the turn of the 20th century, Chancellor Benjamin Andrews envisioned a dedicated space for student activities at the University of Nebraska. To bring this idea to life, Andrews secured $60,000 from John D. Rockefeller Jr., a connection he made during his presidency at Brown University, and personally purchased and donated the land for the building. The Rockefeller name was controversial at the time, though, due to Ida Turball's expose on Standard Oil and criticism from figures like William Jennings Bryan. Despite public backlash over accepting tainted money, Andrews moved forward and the Board of Regents approved construction of this building known as the Temple in 1904. Work began in 1906 and was completed in 1908. The Temple is home of University Theater at UNL since 1907. Temple houses all theater classes as well as the administration offices and performance spaces for the Johnny Carson School of Theater and Film here in the university. The Lead Center for Performing Arts, commonly known as the Lead, is a premier performance venue located here on the southwest edge of the University of Nebraska. It opened in 1990 and serves as a hub for the performing arts here in Lincoln. Its main stage seats about 2,200 people and regularly hosts orchestral concerts, theatrical productions, as well as speaker events. The Sheldon Memorial Art Gallery was funded by Frances Sheldon of Lincoln and her brother A. Bromley Shelton of Lexington. Planning began in 1958 under Norman Jeske, director of the university's art museum, which had previously been housed in Morrill Hall, which we'll see here in just a bit. Construction started in 1961. The gallery's exterior features tapered piers and arches clad in white travertine marble, carefully installed under the supervision of Italian artists. The travertine continues through the sculpture garden that we're walking past now, as well as the entry staircases. There are many important artworks inside the building, including various sculptures, paintings, and photography. The Glencore School of Music, part of the University of Nebraska, has a rich history of music education and performance dating back to the university's early days. Originally founded as the Department of Music within the College of Arts and Sciences, the school has evolved over the decades to become a leading center for music study here in the Midwest. The former university library, now called Architecture Hall, is the only 19th century building remaining here on campus and is a rare reminder of the university's Victorian origins. Dedicated in 1895, the building originally housed the Nebraska State Historical Society on the first floor, library collections on the second, and art and drawing classrooms on the third. By 1912, the entire building was needed entirely for library use. The building is constructed of Colorado sandstone and cherry red brick with a slate roof. It was designed to be fire resistant and held up to 250,000 volumes, though initially it shelved only about 35,000. A major renovation in 1985 linked Architecture Hall to the old Law College with a glass connector, preserving much of the building's original exterior. The clock above the main entrance was donated by the class of 1912. Brace Laboratory of Physics, named after DeWitt Bristol Brace, who died just before its completion in 1905, marked a shift in campus architecture with its simpler design and use of Omaha gray brick instead of traditional red brick. Designed by Mendelsohn, Fisher, and Laurie, it features terracotta trim and a slate roof. Located west of University Hall, its placement displaced the original athletic field, which was moved west and then north to the site that became Memorial Stadium, which we're going to see here in just a bit. In 1907, C.R. Richards was named Associate Dean of the Industrial College and tasked with planning a new building for mechanical engineering, which until then operated out of the old Mechanical Arts Hall and Electrical Engineering Laboratory. Approved as architect in 1907, construction began in 1908 and opened in 1910. By then, Richards was dean of the newly formed College of Engineering, which had split from Industrial College. Richards emphasized hands-on engineering education, designing facilities that included workshops, a foundry, specialized labs, drafting rooms, and lecture halls. In 1944, alumni petitioned to rename the building the Richards Laboratory, but it's now known as Richard Hall and was renovated and expanded in 2000 and has served as studio and gallery space for the art and art history department for decades. Mantor Hall was built in 1926 to serve as the home for the university's chemistry department. It was named after Professor Charles Mantor, a longtime chemistry faculty member who greatly contributed to the department's growth and development. The building was designed to accommodate classrooms, laboratories, and office spaces for chemistry students and faculty. Hamilton Hall is also part of the chemistry department and was a building that was constructed in 1929. Actually, constructed in the 1960s. When it was constructed in the mid-60s, it was recognized as one of the largest chemistry facilities in the United States. Hamilton Hall houses state-of-the-art laboratories and classrooms supporting both undergraduate and graduate chemistry education and research. The building underwent a significant renovation in the early 2020s to modernize its teaching and research spaces. Built in 1916 to replace the original 1855 chemistry lab, Avery Laboratory was part of a 6-year campus expansion funded by the 1913 Nebraska legislature. The chemistry lab was dedicated in 1910 and it features a large central lecture hall and double staircases. In 1946, an addition was built to house chemical engineering, and the building was renamed Avery Laboratory in 1948 to honor former Chancellor Samuel Avery. Burnett Hall had the longest delay in construction among campus buildings. Originally planned as a companion to Andrews Hall, which was completed in 1928, its construction was postponed nearly 20 years due to the Great Depression and World War II. After World War II, increased enrollment from returning veterans made a general classroom building essential. In 1946, funding was approved and the building was named Burnett Hall in honor of a former chancellor. Oddfather Hall, a 12-story building located here on campus, stands as a tribute to Charles Henry Oldfather, a distinguished professor and long-serving dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. The building was completed in 1970 and has housed multiple departments including history, political science, modern languages, sociology, and much more. One of the most recognizable buildings on campus and probably one of the most iconic is Memorial Stadium. It stands on the site of an early Nebraska field which was home to the Cornhuskers until the early 1920s. Football began at the university in the late 19th century with early games played on a field near the original campus. As the sport grew in popularity, demand for larger facilities increased. Nebraska Field served as the main athletic field before Memorial Stadium. By 1922, with football becoming a major cultural event, the Nebraska Alumni Association launched a huge fundraising campaign to build a new stadium. The goal was not only to create a modern athletic venue, but also to serve as a memorial to Nebraskans who served and died in wars. Despite funding challenges and a reduced budget, the Alumni Association raised enough money to begin construction in 1923. The stadium was completed quickly, opening in October of 1923 with a 24-0 victory over Oklahoma. Originally featuring only east and west stands, Memorial Stadium has undergone multiple expansions and renovations over the years. The addition of the field house in the 1940s and further seating expansion in the 1960s increased capacity substantially. The most recent renovation, completed in 2016, added the Osborne Athletic Complex and brought the stadium's capacity to over 81,000 on any given football Sunday, and trust me, this stadium is sold out every single game for years in the past and probably years in the future. This stadium, when it's full, becomes the third largest population site here in the entire state of Nebraska. The Osborne Legacy Complex at the University of Nebraska is a state of the art 315,000 square foot athletic training facility named in honor of legendary head coach Tom Osborne. It opened in 2024 and is a $165 million facility that serves as a central hub for Nebraska football. It also provides comprehensive support for all 22 varsity sports. The University of Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame Walk, which was established in 2015, is a public tribute to the university's storied athletic history. It serves as a commemorative pathway honoring the achievements of Husker athletes and coaches across all sports. It features columns dedicated to each of Nebraska's 24 varsity athletic programs, with plaques recognizing annual Hall of Fame inductees. Following World War I, the need for expanded athletic and event facilities became a priority at the university. While Memorial Stadium was built through a successful fundraising effort by the Alumni Association, it didn't provide a suitable venue for basketball, commencement ceremonies, dances, and other social events. To address this, the Athletic Board of Control, formed by Chancellor Avery in 1922 and composed of alumni officials, pushed for construction of a new gymnasium facility. The new building, called the Coliseum, was financed through future football gate receipts at Memorial Stadium, with $100,000 coming from the Board of Regents. Groundbreaking took place in 1925, and the Coliseum opened in time for the 1926 commencement exercises. Dedicated during the University of Nebraska Lincoln's homecoming festivities in 1949, Mueller Tower stands as a beloved campus landmark and a lasting gift from alumnus Ralph Mueller, who was in the class of 1898. At the time of its dedication, the university had been without a bell tower since the removal of University Hall's upper levels in 1925. In the booming post World War II era, Mueller, who made a fortune in electronics, chose a modern bell tower as his alma mater's next great gift. Today, the Art Deco inspired Mueller Tower still chimes daily, marking the rhythm of university life and serves as an audible symbol of tradition and transformation. On football Saturdays, it adds its voice to the roar of Memorial Stadium, standing tall as a tribute to alumni vision and the enduring spirit of the Cornhusker community. Affectionately known as Elephant Hall by generations of Nebraska school children, Morrill Hall houses the renowned University of Nebraska State Museum, one of the country's leading natural history institutions. The museum is most famous for its unparalleled collection of fossil elephants and over 1 million vertebrate fossil specimens. With the establishment of a special university building fund in 1913, the university acquired land to just the north and east of the original campus and started construction of this building in the 1920s. The building was formally dedicated on May 28, 1927, with Charles Morrill in attendance to witness the realization of his dream. Opened in 2017, Howard L. Hawks Hall is the flagship facility of the University of Nebraska's College of Business. This building, which spans 240,000 square feet, is a state of the art building made possible by an $84 million investment entirely through private donations. It's named in honor of Howard L. Hawks, a 1957 Nebraska alumnus, and who was also a successful Omaha businessman, philanthropist, and former University of Nebraska Regent. John J. Pershing Military and Naval Science Building, commonly known as the M&N Building, has deep roots in the University of Nebraska's long-standing military tradition. Following World War II, the state of Nebraska found itself with surplus revenues and allocated funds for several building projects on campus, including a long awaited armory. Construction began in 1946 and the building officially opened in 1947. This large complex of buildings that we see in front of us is known as Teachers College Hall. It's where the College of Teaching occurs. Cook Pavilion is an indoor synthetic turf field facility. Inside is a full size indoor turf field, which is ideal for flag football, soccer, lacrosse, ultimate frisbee, and other field sports. It provides year round venues for athletes, even during those hot Nebraska heat summers or in the cold winter months. The UNL Outdoor Adventure Center opened in 2014 and it is a vibrant hub for outdoor recreation, adventure, and wellness on campus. Inside, you can find indoor climbing and bouldering. There's a three-story wall with over 25 rope lines. There's also an outdoor climbing wall as well as a bike shop that offers rentals to go on various trails around town. And there's also programs inside for adventure trips, leadership challenges, and other team building activities. Maple Leaf Fields are an outdoor recreation field complex that are nestled here along 14th and 16th Streets. These synthetic turf fields are named after Mabel Lee, a pioneer educator and former director of physical education for women at UNL. Earlier, we walked in front of the historic Nebraska Union on the very first part of the walk. Now we're at the back part of the Union, which is more of the modern side and that has been expanded over the years. Andrew Hall opened in September of 1928 and originally housed three primary education departments: the College of Dentistry, Foreign Languages, and English. At one time, inside in the College of Dentistry, there was a large dental clinic with 42 chairs and a surgical room. The building is named in honor of E. Benjamin Andrews, who served as the chancellor of the university from 1900 to 1908. Today, the building primarily serves as the home of the Department of English. The Esther L. Kaufman Academic Residential Center, also known as Kaufman Hall, is a distinctive suite style resident hall. It serves as both living quarters and an academic hub for students in the Jeffrey S. Rake School of Computer Science and Management. Selleck Quadrangle, often called Selleck Quad, is a residence hall complex. It opened in the fall of 1954 and was part of a post World War II campus expansion aimed at providing modern housing for veterans and the boom in enrollment. The complex is named in honor of John K. Selleck, an influential university administrator who spearheaded funding and planned for the project. The Jackie Gogan Multicultural Center opened in 2010 and is a hub for multicultural support and programming here on UNL's city campus. It's the nation's largest multicultural facility directly connected to a student union. I hope you've enjoyed this Wondering Walks of Wonder campus tour here at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on our next Wondering Walks of Wonder tour. Take care now. Bye bye.